Told you I was going to get crashed, didn't I?
Here she is. Come to join me.
You can't have you without me and me without you, can you, really? It's just, that's the way it is.
I think it's because this show is just so exciting as well.
Absolutely.
The moulds are amazing.
They
We've got
are.
even more.
I know, it's very exciting. Right, let me introduce you to our team. So we've got Amber on production. We've got we've got Laura. I know, we've got a new, oh, there she is, give us a wave. We've got Laura on cameras for the first time, which is super, super, super cool. And we're going to have a fantastic show for you today. I'm going to sneeze in a minute, bear with.
Oh,
Oh, bless
apparently
me.
if you say pineapple juice, it's supposed to get rid of
I
it.
heard that.
Yeah, but I
But
sneeze
you're going to
all
look a
the
bit random,
time.
aren't you? Going pineapple, pineapple,
I
pineapple.
love sneezing. It's
I
like,
do
I
too.
love it. It's like, if I'm bored, I'll just make myself sneeze. Oh, that was
Wow,
nice.
you need to get out more, love.
I know, let's get live. Bit of an overshare.
See, this is why I love to get crashing David shows. Right, first of all, welcome to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. Let me tell you where you can watch us and how to shop. Just imagine you walking around with some dust going, oh, I just need to sneeze. Oh dear, crazy. Yeah, absolutely. So you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you're going to shop with us, on either Facebook or Instagram, we're going to show you a product and that product will have a code. And all you need to do is type shop and then the code into the comments underneath the video. So we're not sending you away from a visual channel to shop. You can literally shop while you watch, which I think is fabulous. We're then going to send you a message to your direct messages. And in that message will be a link. You're going to click that link. That will take you to highlightcrafts.com where you need to log into your account. That's really important. And then check out those baskets. And it's important that you log in because then you get automatic club membership. So if you haven't got an account with us yet, please open one because that will make you a club member and there's no fee. But what that means is the price that you see on your screen is not the price that you're paying because you'll get an extra discount off. Then you get points put back on your account in a couple of weeks' time for every pound that you spent. And then you get free postage over £35, which is brilliant, right? Love that. Think it's a great club, no fee and all the benefits. Now you can also shop directly with us on our website if that's what you'd like to do. So just go to highlightcrafts.com, click watch live, press play, and as soon as that show starts, all the items within that show will appear down the side of your screen. You simply then select the ones that you wish to purchase and they will appear as a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen. When you're ready to log in and check out, click on that and that will take you through that process. Now, a lot of you are shopping ahead at the moment. To do that, you can start at midnight. I know. So go on to highlightcrafts.com, click on the banner that says shop today's deals and all those deals will open up. Now, if we had the same show twice in one day, the items in that show will only appear in the first one, just to save any confusion, because I'll be like, have I got that? Have I not? Have I got it? Have I not? So we make it easy for you. So really, really easy to join us here at Highlight Crafts. We've had quite a lot of new people join in the last few days, probably coming with Lily, which is lovely. She's just done a fabulous first demo for us.
I know, right?
On air, like literally duck to water, right? Yeah. Brilliant. So, David, these are a bit special, right?
We said we were bringing you Christmas this week, and we've really been sort of building this up. Now, this here for you is, well, I said yesterday my favourite moulds have been shared. It's been surpassed. It's been overtaken. These here, though, are going to add to all of those moulds that you've already got. These we've got in 2 sets of 4 for you. Now, these are your Bauble moulds. They are absolutely beautiful. You're going to get 4 in each one of these bundles, which I mean works out about £3.75 each. They've got incredible patterns on each one with an inset, which means whether you're using your epoxy resin, which we have on the show, or your resin cast, does that not just look absolutely exquisite?
That's costing you £3.50. 15% of both of these are allocated, so you need to be fast. If you want these, I would do 2 back-to-back.
Oh yes, 2 back-to-back. Well, you've also got here, and I'm going to rice paper this one. You've got the blank.
Oh, I like that.
So what we've done for you is you've got your 2 bundles with, of course, the patterns in them. But this particular one, which is shop pattern, has the blank, which I love because you can rice paper it, and you can put an image in the bottom of the mould and pour rice paper on top, or pour the resin on top, sorry, or of course you can rice paper afterwards, whichever way you want to work. But these are so detailed. In fact, actually, shall I grab one to demold now? Should we just do it now?
Go.
I was going to do it at the demo, but I think we should do it now.
We'll go over with David.
Right, okay, so I'm going to share with you what these look like now. I'm going to grab one from a clear set, okay, and one from the second set. We've not even shown you this yet. So demolding them is incredibly easy.
Chocolate, David.
Look at that. It is beautiful.
Chocolate coins.
Chocolate coins.
Wrapped in the foil that we brought you when we did the chocolate show. We had gold foil.
Absolutely.
You can make your own chocolate coins.
Look at these.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my, so the beauty of these moulds is, what Jane's done here is she dropped colour with a pipette into each element of this recess, but then the front-facing element gives you a frosted finish, which gives you that wonderful frosting, and then you've got that wonderful glaze on the back, so it can be viewed from both sides. So if there's lights on the back of here, it's just going to look like a Christmas bulb. It's going to look amazing.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I'm obsessed. I love them so much. I can see everybody making and selling these. These are going to be gift tags.
Absolutely.
They're going to be present toppers. These are going to be on your Christmas tree for years to come. When the grandchildren come around every day over December, they can take one off the tree. It's a little token to take home. But the most important part is it's so enjoyable to craft with.
Absolutely. And really easy to do. And a brilliant price. Like a brilliant price. £3.75 per mould. And a mould is a tool. So it's going to last you a long, 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 long time. And I think the idea of doing them with chocolate and wrapping them in foil on the tray.
Oh, chocolate. That's an amazing idea, honestly.
Just remember that if you are, and I know you're grown-ups, but I have to verbalise it. If you're going to use food in one and then craft in another, you need two separate sets. But look how brilliant they are. Honestly, I love the frosted look it gives you.
That frosted look is honestly
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just beautiful. And with something like this, you can make it as many times as you want. It's something you only ever buy once.
Correct.
You buy a mould once, and this is when I say, for $14.99, you have got a tool in your crafting stash, and moulds are the way forward. I have become fixated with moulds because the abilities, the stuff you can mix into them, whether it's gilding flakes, glitters, whether it's going to be resin, chipping, sequins, beads, anything that you've got as an embellishment, it goes in there and it's set for life.
That's so exciting. Right, we need to go and show them everybody else because these are literally flying out the door. You need to be fast if you want these. And I hate doing that to you, but I don't want, the worse than that is missing out, right?
No one likes to miss out.
Is this the first one, pattern?
This one here's shop pattern.
All right, 60% of that.
Oh my goodness,
is now allocated and in people's baskets. We haven't even showed you the second one, and we're already 40% into that stock as well.
Wow.
So please, please, please get these in your basket now. One thing I need to say to you, you can keep looking at the moulds and David will show you what they look like. It's not yours until you check out that basket. I know I'm that annoying presenter that keeps interrupting, but it's like when you're walking around your supermarket, right? It's not yours until you go through checkout and pay for it. It's the same here. So please, 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 when stock is going this quickly, you need to be checking out your baskets to make sure that you get it.
You do.
These are stunning. That is beautiful.
Even if you wanted to, you could gesso them, add gilding wax.
Absolutely beautiful.
That, with food or with resin and resin cast crafts, is amazing. The snowflake itself, that's like lovely. A proper stargazing snowflake you've got on there. A wonderful image. You can also, with a resin cast one like this, once that's then demolded, then infill all of the recess here with epoxy resin mixed with micas to get an incredibly gilded finish. You've also got one here with that wonderful Baroque bauble pattern at the top and the bottom.
That's really pretty.
And then
it's almost tattered lace.
It is actually, isn't it? It does. It looks like tattered lace as a bauble.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
You've got the Christmas tree in here. The Christmas tree is just wonderful. I mean, look at that, how it's built up of all little images together. They're iconic.
Right, so how long do I need to wait till I demold?
For resin cast like this, you can demold in an hour.
Wow.
Okay, so demold your resin cast plaster ones within an hour. Usually, it depends as well, like if you're doing like a big batch of them. I mean, I always have quite a few molds on the go, keep them going, so as I'm demolding, I'm pouring. But I would say for resin cast, about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. But also for your epoxy resin, you can demold within 12 hours. Okay,
75% of pattern is now allocated in people's baskets, and 85% of this. Please don't miss out. Okay, I don't want you missing out. Please.
I mean, look at, imagine if you just do a Christmas tree with all that white work.
Absolutely.
Just honestly, on a real Christmas tree, these you put some wire in there. They've got all of the holes there for you to put, really, speciality threads.
Little bow with your bow maker at the top.
But imagine receiving a bottle bag with that on.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also glue them onto a canvas and do a wonderful art piece for Christmas as well.
Fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, they're incredible. I love them to bits.
Right, I think we need to move on because they're flying out. Right, next. How much? Which one?
Oh.
Icon. All gone. See, I told you you have to be quick.
Okay.
There's no messing about. Here is the... I know. We will try and get... Oh,
that's
check
demo
out.
one
That's Amber in the corner going, check out, quick. Right, now this I have to have in my life.
It just gets better.
Because these are stunningly beautiful. Imagine these with your mixie on and then your metal leaf.
Oh.
Those sheets of metal leaf. How incredible will that look? This is stunning, David. I absolutely need these. Christmas table, top of your fireplace, back to back if you drilled a hole in, or you just used a really good strong glue, the glue from Simon Isles.
Absolutely.
That's an amazing glue. Back to back, if you put the tea lights in with a little bit of power tape, you could hang them and still have the tea lights in them.
You absolutely could do. These are like on your dining table for Christmas Day.
Gorgeous,
on your coffee table, console table. We've put battery ones in here, safety of course, but you can put whatever. If you're using resin cast, you can put a flame tea light inside there. Just always be cautious. But paint them, as you said, rice paper them, gild them, glitter them. Should we demold one?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do it because
go.
Jane's done an amazing one.
This is exciting.
Okay, so you get 2 different ones and you're going to get 2 of each, okay?
Yep.
Which means you get 4 mouldings in total. Now this one here is set with our epoxy resin.
Ooh, look at
mixed with the glitters that we do also have on the show.
This is why Jane was getting all excited yesterday, wasn't it?
You should have seen her this morning. It was incredible. She was hyperventilating. Yeah, we were talking about them. She's like, oh my goodness, look at how they've come out.
So Jane is Diane's sister.
Yes.
Up to come in here, didn't craft. Saw resin, now obsessed.
Yeah.
Right? Obsessed. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. But look how easily this just demolds. Isn't that fabulous?
It's just
and
popping
she's put
out.
lights in, right?
Now
look at that.
It's illuminated.
That's beautiful.
So it's battery powered and then you can still put a tea light inside it. So you've actually got the illumination from within it. These are our little battery lights. You may have got some of these already, but the snowflakes are just beautiful. Okay,
I'm going to let you know half the stock is already allocated. All the patterns are allocated. They've all gone. All the icon moulds gone. And half of these gone.
If anyone upstairs is watching, is there any more? But look at this one here. This is mixed with the resin and the epoxy resin, but it's got the white in it. Which means if you then put a tea light in this, then even the whole thing will glow because it will carry the light through it.
That's beautiful.
Just look how stunning that is.
Wow.
It looks like it's been and also the surface of these moulds, every corner is just ever so slightly beveled, giving you professionalism, perfection, simplicity, but effectiveness with every single demold.
Absolutely phenomenal, David. Love those. Absolutely love it. Right, I think we need to come back down here and carry on because this is like selling out as we go, isn't it?
Yeah, we're literally 12 minutes in.
It's brilliant. Right. Never used epoxy resin.
Okay.
What's it all about, please?
Epoxy
Genuinely
resin.
never used it.
Well, up until probably around about 6 weeks ago, nor had I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd
Brilliant.
always worked with water-based resin cast, and it was a preferred at the time choice of cast, and now I love them both equally. I'd always strayed away from using epoxy resin because I was unsure of the formulas, the compounds, whether there's chemical formulas you need to follow. It's so easy.
Tracy Goucher just paid £1.42 for both Bauble sets with a points and discount.
Oh, well, that's a Christmas present.
There you go.
What a treat.
Happy Christmas.
Congratulations. See, that's how
Karen,
good it is being in the club.
Just got both sets of Baubles and paid for with my points. Thank you, Highlight Crafts. You're welcome.
See, everyone was waiting for Christmas, right? See, that's how good it is. That is a free membership as well.
Right. Brilliant.
And you just got your baubles for just £1. Like, okay, so epoxy resin. This comes in 2 parts. It couldn't be easier. You get everything that you need within this entire kit to be able to create exactly what we'll share with you here on the show. Now, you're actually getting 1.9 litres of resin in total. It comes as part A and part B.
Right.
You mix equal quantities, so whether it's 50 mils of A and 50 mils of B, or 50 grams of A or 50 grams of B, you can do it by weight or volume.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Brilliant.
It works the exact same way. So when I discovered that with this particular process, I was like, right, this is for me. Okay, I can do this and still create all of those effects. It sets to demold within 12 hours. So these, the resin ones that we just shared with you, they were set last night at around about 5, 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So they've had just over 12 hours. After 24 hours, they're non-flexible, so they're rigid and they're fully set. But with most epoxy resins that aren't a UV set, within about 25 to 30 days, give it a month, they're fully cured, okay? It's hardened off, all right? Now, in that time period, from 24 hours to the 30 days, you probably won't notice any difference at all, but it's a curing process. You can still use it, you know, you could still hang it on your tree after 24 hours, but I would definitely recommend getting these prepared for Christmas if you're using your festive ones. But you're not only getting the resin in here.
No. You
get an entire crafting kit.
Okay, just before we go through it, I need to tell you that all of these moulds are now allocated, but Stephanie's been on it. She's managed to get us more stock of both of the baubles.
Really?
Have we got a lot of stock, Amber? Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Not really.
That's my producer. Okay.
So
already half of that new stock has got 40%. Got 40% available.
Okay.
Right,
well,
they're gone.
You know what you need to do?
Yeah.
The baubles are going to disappear, okay?
Right, let's just quickly show the designs again, and then we know we can move on and finish off this one, because we've got a lot of other stuff to get through, haven't we?
We do, indeed. So starting off again with shop pattern, this is your pattern baubles, but it does also come with your blank inside there, which is great to utilise for other crafts such as rice paper, or again, if you want to make that chocolate, that would be great inside here as well as a big chocolate penny. But then you have all 4 iconic mouldings. As well in here, you've got a bauble that's built up of loads of different pattern. Snowflake bauble, and the way that this is designed, it gives that spherical look and feel to it, because you can see as the image creeps into the design, you get the ability to actually capture all of this detail with different mediums.
Imagine taking pictures of your pets, your children, your grandchildren, printing them on rice paper, using a die to cut them out and put them in here so everybody has their own bauble at Christmas. And then you could use vinyl on the back to personalise them.
Or you could use those water decals. You could use those if you got them.
Absolutely.
Because you can use those on resin. Those are your 4 pattern sets. Absolutely exquisite designs. And even if you just want to have them as white, there's a shop called The White Company.
There is.
And they sell Christmas decorations.
They do.
And they are, I'm going to say, expensive.
They are.
The candles are as well. But I did buy some Christmas decorations from them a couple of years ago, and it was like after Christmas.
Yes.
And they were still a considered purchase.
Right.
This is like what they were selling.
I know,
okay?
right?
And they look gorgeous, just like this, with a little bit of black ribbon or red ribbon through there, hanging on a Christmas tree branch.
Gorgeous.
Honestly, they look amazing. So those are your 4 in your pattern set.
Right, okay, shop pattern, we'll get you those for $14.99, but you are going to have to be quick. This is back in stock, and it's already flying. Right, let's have a look at the first 4, and then we'll carry on with this resin kit. Sorry to jump backwards and forwards, but I don't want anybody missing out. And if you've just tuned in going, what's all the fuss about? You need to see the designs. These are beautiful, David. That bauble with the bow is absolutely exquisite. That's one of the nicest moulds. Gorgeous, isn't it?
It is. That's the biggest one out of all of them as well, because you've got that extended sizing towards the top there.
They're beautiful.
So you're going to get that bauble with the beads cascading down, giving that 3-dimensional look and feel again. You've then got your centralised star snowflake, which just looks, it's got such an impact, but again, just as white, it looks fabulous.
Stunning.
And they look like they're marble with the way that these moulds, because they're so smooth on the inside, it almost like it pre-polishes it for you.
Imagine them glued and glittered.
Oh.
Just an iridescent Aurora Borealis glitter would look incredible.
It really would.
I like the idea of hanging them from the. So we have a bay window at home, so I could hang them from the ceiling, and then they'll all be coming down at different lengths, just on fishing wire.
Oh, definitely. And you can back-to-back them if you want to. The outers are the same size, so you could back-to-back them if you want to have different designs on back-to-back from one another, or use the same design. Or if you're using clear, you won't need to do that. But again, they all have the little loophole at the top to thread them up. You could do a little bauble bunting with them if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
4 of those inside there. You've got your iconic Christmas tree as well, which is a personal favourite.
Gorgeous.
I think everyone's going to have their favourite inside here. It's very hard to pick, but they're going to go again.
They are. Right. 60% of pattern is now allocated, so 60% of the back in stock, and 70% of icon.
This is what happens with icons.
I'm not saying it's busy just for the sake of saying it's busy, right? Right, so we've got our resin. What else do we get in this deal, please?
So you get both resins inside there, part A and part B. You also get your measuring cups. So inside there, you're going to get a full set of measuring cups. These are like an added bonus, really. You can use any disposable cup, but these have measurements on. Yeah, they are good quality. If you're going to be using them with epoxy resin, of course, I would dispose of them afterwards, unless you can get it thoroughly clean inside. But they do have all the measurements on there. You then also have a full pack of protective wear gloves, and you'll get all the wooden stirrers as well, lolly sticks. So you've got those inside there. You then also get 8 different pigment dyes for you to use inside your resin, which is unbelievable quality. You can get solid colour with this. You can do your white base and do your marbling with it, but that's there where you can explore all the techniques that Jane has done within samples and that we've shared during shows. You're also going to get a copper, silver and gold gilding flake. Lovely. Stuffed inside there. There's loads inside those pots. And a full pack of pipettes as well. They're so useful, aren't they? Well, when you get your moulds like this and you want to put specific colours in, you just squeeze it gently into each section and it will fill it. Brilliant. Right. Absolutely fabulous, that, David. So all of that, shop large, $44.99. I love this kit. It's brilliant. It all comes together. It gives you everything that you need. Just wear protective gloves and wear an apron, or protect the desk when you're working with it, because it is epoxy resin. Right. Okay. So shop large will get you that one. Next. This is cute. This is a jewellery one, right? It is a jewellery one. Now this also has moulds inside it. Oh. So you get moulds with this kit. This is exciting. Again, you get your part 1 and part 2, or part A and B. You mix them together in equal quantities. They do come with a measuring cup on top, and it's a smaller size because you're filling smaller moulds. You can use these in bigger moulds though as well, don't worry, we'll go further. So you've got both of those. You're going to get again a full set of 6 dies this time to use. You get both jewellery moulds, so these are earrings and key rings, embellishments, which are just spectacular. They're cute, aren't they? So you can use these for loads of different things. You've got perfume bottles, Eiffel Tower, hearts, flowers, butterflies, embellishments. You then get your measuring cups. You're going to get loads of these. They're all just popped together. Oh, great. So you fill it up and then you pour it with the spout. Oh, I love those. Aren't they great? So they're really precise for filling. They're cool. So I love these. I thought they were great. When I was making the jewellery ones, I really enjoyed that. You get an absolute massive hoard of little crystal shells and embellishments in there. Lovely. And then you get the funky embellishments like the orange slices, the little raspberries. They're clay, aren't they? These ones? Yeah. I think the little air-dried, the little heat-set clays. So you create all these different layers, and then you roll it, and then you slice it, and that's what you get. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's like a stick of rock. Yeah, it is. It's all sliced down. Absolutely. You've got stars, butterflies, little sort of metal embellishments, and then you get the applicator kit. Pipettes, stirring sticks, tweezers for fine application, gloves, and key rings as well for you to put them all onto. Brilliant. Shop resin, $34.99. That's before your club discount, which is incredible. Right, moving on. Sliding into the DMs. Slide into the left. Can't get over that. I thought it was Doc Martens. Slid into the DMs. Yeah, I did. No, honestly. No. So we're going to send you a message in your Doc Martens. I didn't live in a world. I lived in a world where everything was what it was, right? Yeah. So a cloud was something in the sky that rain came out of. And what was a live stream feed? A live stream feed was feeding the ducks in the park. Where there's a river. Because we were live, it's a stream, and we're feeding them, right? Look, now we live in a world. Laura's laughing her head off. Cameron's got it like this. We live in a world of abbreviations, don't we? Sliding into your DMs. I'm like, I'm not throwing my boots with anybody. Honestly, I have no idea. It just goes like that. The words, the terminology. The best one ever was when we got, I think it was Pip, actually, the dog, and I'm walking him up and down the street, and this kid comes towards me with his hoodie up, like walking like that, you know, like they do, like he's out of New York. Rather intimidating. He went, "Mrs, your dog's sick." I went, "There's nothing wrong with my dog, love." Carry on. Pip's just there like, thanks. Pip's like, I'm not sick. Trendy. Right, this. I know, well, I'm older. These are the things, no, I agree with you, Mel. Yeah, right. So we've got a pack of 2 here for you. This, again, we've managed to keep it on a great deal for Christmas week for you. Brilliant. But you're actually getting your black and white inside here. Love that. So with this one, it's usually $29.99 per bag of resin cast. Okay, you're getting an 800-gram bag in each colour. But today, you're paying just $29.99 for one, and you're paying a £5 for the other. Why would you not? So you're saving like 25 quid. Brilliant. Right, shop mono, we'll get you both of those. Now then, gesso. Yes. So if you want white, you would use your gesso, snow white. Absolutely. So white gesso comes in a 150ml tub. This is a duo bundle, so you're going to get black and white. This is incredible for dimensional painting. You can use it for stenciling, raised surface area. It's incredibly smooth as well. So it'll give you a sleek, chalky finish if you want to stencil with it, but also it works great as a base coat or for creating snow effects. You also get the jet black, my favourite. It is honestly the most solid pigment gesso I have ever worked with. It's mind-blowing. When you actually spread this with some cutting news or a brush, the intensity, or should I say the full coverage with this is just unbelievable. When you start crafting with it, you'll go, oh my word.
I know, right?
There's no smear, there's no brush stroke marks. It's fabulous and it's completely matte.
It's good.
Yeah.
Really good. Well, we used that on the first day we went to Cadence. Gosh, that's before lockdown, isn't it?
About 7 years ago.
And literally a piece of cut news foam, black gesso, down a piece of MDF like that. I was like, right, that's one of my favourite products.
Yeah, need that.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Get the foundations right and everything else that you put on top of it will look amazing. Right, I'm going to jump to these moulds.
Okay.
Because we saw those yesterday. We can always recap those later on. But I want to jump to these because I need this in my life.
Because look at what you can create.
Because I haven't got time to go home and bake a Christmas cake. Okay, it's the bottom line now. So I'm going to buy an iced one, just plain, fondant icing in these all the way around the Christmas cake.
Yeah.
How lovely is that? We had these boxes on the last show. Look how beautiful this is. Imagine that in your home. That's going to come out year after year after year after year.
It's stunning, isn't it? And you can still store inside it.
This mould is incredible. Chocolate, fondant, clay, paper clay, resin, all of that. Shop Village, $29.99 is going to get you this mould. Look how many you've got in one.
How thick it is.
I know. This is a really, really good quality mould. So you're getting all your little buildings in there for your Christmas village. You then got your little snowman and your Christmas trees in there. Even the little church with the cross on the top. I mean, this is just gorgeous. If you're somebody that likes painting, this is going to be brilliant. Yeah. Or you could put your micas in the bottom of the mould and then pour your resin on top.
You could.
Which would look stunning. So many different reasons. But I love this.
Yeah, me too. I think it's fabulous. Again, you don't have to use it for Christmas if you don't want. Nope. You could take the snowman out and just use the trees, or you could make it a village for all year round. It's great for a model maker, a hobbyist, crafter alike that just wants to create something spectacular, miniature, and a world that you can visualize yourself in. Do you know when you go to the garden centres and you see those big tables they have with all of the villagers, and there's like a Father Christmas flying around on a sleigh, and there's someone ice skating in the corner, and there's a toy shop. Make your own.
Absolutely,
because they cost thousands.
I love this mould. I think it's fabulous. And you know what? Even on the front of a Christmas card, if you just put one on the front of a Christmas card, because it's not super heavy.
No,
it's not. In fact, it's not heavy at all. If I pick this up, I mean, it feels like I've probably got, I'm going to say, a pound coin.
Yeah, it probably weighs around about 25 to 30 grams, something like that.
So it's, I mean, look how smooth that is. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
It's like a billiard table, that, and it's super, super
It feels
smooth.
like a marble tile.
It does. And it's nice and cold.
It is. Ooh,
I like these. I might need these as earrings.
Put
I
some on
can
the
just
pillow.
do like that. Yeah, right. Right, David. Aquastone.
Aquastone, well, for
Glitters,
sealing, encapsulating, all of that. Mix your glitters with your Aquastone. Make a glitter glaze if you want to. The Aquastone for you, we've got it in the 120 at the moment, which is a great deal for you because it goes such a long way. It's an all-water-based waterproofing varnish that you can use on all of your resin projects. So whether you're going to use it on a resin medium that you want them wash or clean, or you want to give a wonderful gloss coat, this is the one you're going to use for it. It dries within about half an hour. It's fully set within just a couple of hours, and then after 21 days, it's fully waterproof. Right. Okay, but in that time period, you can use it as any other functional item would be. But also the glitters that we've got for you today. This is a massive amount of glitter.
It is.
And the colour, it just screams Christmas.
The colours are lovely, aren't they?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Now, you usually buy one of these. You're getting 2 sets today. I love the fact that they come in their own little containers because then you can use the containers afterwards.
Yes.
$9.99 for all that glitter.
I think is there 18 there? Yes.
Yeah.
They are wonderful colours. You're going to get 2 of each one. That's, I think, my favourite. Look how fancy that is. So mix them with your resin, mix them with, of course, your epoxy resin, your resin cast, mix them with your varnish, use them in your shaker cards, mix them with gesso.
And they're not ultra fine either, so if you are mixing it with something else, you're still going to see the glitter inside it. But look how fabulous these are. You can just see on the bottom there, it's not chunky, but it's not ultra fine.
Yeah.
It's Goldilocks,
Well,
isn't
if
it?
you were
Just
to,
right.
it's perfect. If like the stencils Lily and yourself were on this morning, if you blend through one of those stencils with some of the Cadence decoupage glue, blend through it, take your stencil away, and just chuck glitter on it, and it'll get a wonderful glittered ombre stencil.
That, isn't it?
Just chuck
right, now this one.
I know.
Oh, I love this.
The gingerbread house.
Yeah, I love this mould.
Now,
this is gorgeous.
If you want to make a home, you want to make a gingerbread house, you want to make a Christmas model, you're getting all of the building platforms to do it. You can get 4 moulds in total with this.
£27.99.
It's crazy. It's
£7.50
crazy.
a mould.
Yeah. And you don't have to use it to build a house. You could have that just on its own.
You could.
That could be stood up individually.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look at the roof with the little scallop tiles on there as well.
They're great, aren't they? I love that roof. And then you've got the house there. So you could be making this and then putting your tea lights inside it, right?
Oh yeah, you could do.
You could make your own little tea light
You can make the roof hinge so you can open it and close it.
These are brilliant, aren't they? I love these. Stephanie was on Saturday doing these, and then she tried to stick resin together with resin.
Oh.
That was interesting.
Ah.
It was very interesting.
Well, like icing of a gingerbread house, but yeah.
But trying to stick the sides together with resin. What you need is the glue from our Simon Els, who's back on with Piranha at 1 o'clock.
He is. I need to get some of that glue because I watched that show.
Oh, it's brilliant, David.
And honestly, it is amazing stuff.
It is amazing.
It's stuff. And I was actually really interested about how much you get inside there because I had one that's a similar style of glue, and all of it's hidden inside an encasing.
Yep.
And that one.
That's what he showed, wasn't it, in the show?
I was like, what?
900 drops. 900 drops.
I missed that
Brilliant.
bit.
You need to get that in your life. Right. Love this.
Oh, sorry, it's not on the show.
Oh, is it not?
No, I was going to hang the baubles on it as I made them. I don't know if we've got any left,
We'll
but
see if we can get something similar for you. Well, that was a letdown.
Rather anticlimactic, I do afraid.
That was, David. Right, let's see how that.
Foil onto them with gilding flakes, absolutely, and you can use your hot foil pen onto them if you wanted to. You can use both. But also, when we spoke about the little baubles with the rice paper, look, you could just print off with those designs that we had the other day, and we'll do this during the show because we've got time still. But you could then rice paper these on top.
So did you use a digital punch?
Yeah.
In Minecraft Studio?
Yeah, so I changed the size of them.
Brilliant.
So you can literally just decoupage them straight onto it. And there's actually Bauble designs in that download, and you could put the Bauble designs on the baubles. So you can resize it whatever you want to. But we'll have a look at that later on. I just want to share with you that if you want to just make the blank ones to start with, whether this is photographs or Christmas imagery,
I love that.
You can make a tag and then you can put text on it that says maybe Happy Christmas, Momo, whoever the gift is to.
Imagine making, when you wrap your Christmas presents for those special people in your life, and you use that as a tag. Well, and then they take it off and they use it for their Christmas tree the following year. It's going to become one of those family heirlooms where they come out over and over and over again. I love that.
Well, my friend, she makes baubles and she hand paints baubles. She gets a full stack of porcelain baubles, flat ones, and hand paints loved ones, pets, all that sort of stuff. Whether it's someone that you've lost, and I ordered one from her. Not last year, the year before actually. It was incredible, but she sells out every year, and she has all the bookings are done because it takes her hours to make them.
Yeah, I bet.
But imagine if you've got family friends, or you've got friends, or you know somebody who maybe has lost someone throughout the year. I most certainly will be doing some of these myself, whether it's pets or family, to then bring them out every year and put on the Christmas tree.
Absolutely.
How sentimental is that?
Yep.
We've got personal baubles. I've got one from when I lost my dog. You know, we've got all those ones on the tree that you talk about them as you decorate the tree.
Absolutely.
And you're like, oh, remember, and it's
reminisce, don't you?
Of course you do. And you could do that with these.
I was going to say something else now. It's completely gone out of my head.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's not you. It's me. I can't remember what I was going to say. It'll come back.
Come back.
Give us about 15 minutes. It'll suddenly pop back in my head, and I'll go, oh, that's what I was going to say.
That's what you were going to say. Right. What should we work with first? Because have we got any of the moulds left?
Yes, yeah,
Yes, she says confidently. Oh. Amber? We haven't.
We haven't.
Let's work with them anyway.
Well, should we start with the resin cast in the snowflakes,
Yep.
and then we could do some epoxy in the baubles?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do that.
I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
So I told you to come back.
Good.
Stephanie's painting.
Wow.
Stephanie's painting on the baubles, right?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Right. There you go. I knew it'd come back. And it was quite a good idea.
Yeah, it was good. It was a very good idea.
It wasn't bad, that, was it?
Absolutely. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into... I'm going to put the scale upside down so you can see the numbers. All right. I'm going to put the cup on here. And we're going to go back down to 0 because our cup weighs 11 grams. And I'm using up my bits and bobs that I've got left over, okay? So I'm trying to condense these down. So what you're going to do is take your resin cast, whether you can use the black or white. I'm going to put 100 grams of resin cast inside here, okay? Slowly into the cup, and you want to put 100 grams exactly. And this is the basic formula, okay? So I've got 101 there. You have got about a 10% leeway of give on there. And then it's got a resealable clasp at the top. I always just pop a peg on it because then it's just easier.
Okay, so our lovely, I don't know if it's Hannah Diane who it is today at the moment, says, Amanda says, was waiting for the wooden tree, sad face. There's a link. Is it you, Amber? Oh, good girl, it was Amber.
Oh, thank you,
Amber. You can get it on
Amber.
the website.
You can, and it was only this morning, actually, when I was collecting some of the projects from our academy that have been curing overnight, and I saw this in the corner, and I thought, oh my goodness, but it was literally like 10 minutes before the show, so I didn't know if we'd be able to have it on or not, and I didn't even know if we definitely had some.
Brilliant.
But we've got it. Amazing. So yeah, definitely check that out. We're going to go back to 0.
Okay.
35 grams of water is now going to be added into here.
Now, if I want to add mica, because we've got the set of 52 micas on the show, do I add it at this stage?
You can add it at this stage, absolutely you can do. If you wanted to, though, you could then mix it with your varnish and paint it on afterwards. Yep. With micas, they are prominent, but in a white, you want to use a strong colour.
Yes.
In a black resin cast, you can use pretty much any colour, because the black allows the colours to bounce off the surface. Yep. Also bear in mind that all of that mica isn't going to be sat on the surface of that resin cast, it's also mixed within it. And resin cast isn't transparent. So say for example you put 10 grams of mica powder in a resin formula, you may only have 2% of that actually on the exterior of it. So expect to see maybe less of what you've mixed on the outer edge, just so you're aware of that. But when you're mixing it with epoxy resin, you see 100% of it because they're transparent. Yep. So if you want to see all of what you've mixed, paint it on afterwards. You could dust it with the little mix of aquastone mixed with mica. You can do that too. We've done lots of demonstrations where we've made our mica glazes with aquastone, and it's so easy to do. But mix mica and glitter with aquastone and you get a double. That looks great. Double
shiny.
So what we're going to do now is mix our water and resin cast together.
Yep.
I'm just using a palette knife for this, or you can use one of the stirrers. I'm using this because the cup I've chosen to work with today is a little bit taller.
If you're doing a bigger amount, we do have a whisk.
Yes, we do.
Whisk on the show. So we'll get that popped up on the screen. Your micas are on at the moment. Shop powder for 52 of them. I mean, I just want that in a frame on my wall because it's so beautiful.
I know.
Look at this.
Honestly, that
how
just displayed,
is that?
it is gorgeous.
Isn't it? I just love the colour. Look at all those different ones that you've got in there. And some of them you've got real iridescence in there. I love these.
Yeah.
These are the magic ones.
Oh, they're like the interference.
Right, the interference ones. They're good, fabulous, aren't they? All 52 of them. $39.99. I love that. Somebody bought me that for Christmas. I'd be absolutely delighted.
Oh, me too.
But I just want to look at it.
I'm not dropping any hints, Luke, if you're watching.
Luke, if you're watching. Christmas. I know. More stuff in your house. I know. I hear you.
Look at these things.
There we go.
There's
right.
a reason.
Let's have a look.
Right, okay, so we've got our resin cast. Now, the dyes that come with your epoxy kit, you can use in your resin cast as well.
Can you?
So you can mix them with both,
wow,
which is amazing.
That's
I know,
good.
right? So I'm going to dip into these. They do come with a little polythene bag. I always keep them inside it, especially because I store all the resin stuff inside the box it comes in. So I'm going to take some, let's go with the red, and put just a few drops of it in the top. Can you see there? I've just put 3 drops inside that.
Yep.
And then we're going to use some of our, well, let's use a green actually. We're to use Christmas colours, the red and the green. So again, I'm going to do 3 drops in between the red ones.
So if you see inside there, camera shot, Laura. Can I just say, look at that for a camera shot.
Look at that.
Perfect.
There we go.
You can tell she's young, can't you?
Absolutely, you can. She knows the shots.
Insta ready and all that malarkey.
Absolutely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a gentle mix.
It looks like a Christmas.
It looks amazing.
Candy cane.
Yes, that's it.
Look at that.
So that's all the mixing we want to do.
That.
We don't want to mix it completely, all right? If we were to continue mixing, our colours are going to blend.
Yes.
We want to have that separation. Then
I love that, David.
we're going to go into our mould, okay?
Excited.
So as we pour, it's going to flood down, watch this, and it creates that marbling.
Oh,
look at that.
I need that in my life.
So into all of those areas.
How satisfying is that?
And then, so 100 grams is all you need to fill 1 snowflake.
Right, so how do you work out how much you need per mould?
So
is there a formula?
100 grams resin cast per mould, 35 grams of water.
Okay.
So there's your basic mix. And you have a teeny tiny little bit left over after you've tapped to then top up. Just like that. So then you're going to go like this and bounce it around. Now this is an important part. You want to spend about 30 seconds going around and just jumping it, okay? Because that brings any air bubbles to the surface. If air bubbles are inside there, they can weaken the structure. If you imagine like when you break into one of those Whisper chocolate bars and it's filled with air bubbles, it's easy to snap. A solid chocolate bar is harder. You've got all those little breaks in there. So if you're going to just jump it like that, all those bubbles will come to the top. It'll avoid any being on the surface and it makes your project stronger. Then when we want to demold, we've got one here that's mixed with red and one with a bit of green and red. So let's take one of these out.
Okay, I have some news. We've got a little bit more stock of this mould that David's using, but it might be slightly delayed in being shipped out to you because we've got to wait for it to come back into stock with us. I think we've got a while before Christmas. I think you'll be all right.
I was going to say, don't worry, it's going to be here before Christmas.
Yeah, it will. Shop Snow, $19.99, is going to get you 4. So 2 moulds, so you can make 4 at once.
Wow.
Which is brilliant, isn't it?
It is incredible. Now we've got some veining and some marbling inside these. But look, I've put even more colour inside these ones. And then you can go over the top with different mediums. It doesn't end. So if you wanted to now, you could then glitter glaze these.
Right.
So if I was to take
look at that.
my messy mat and...
That's one word for it.
It
Look at
is
the
one
state
word.
of that, Laura. Honestly, we're going to put it in Tate Modern, aren't we? That's exactly what we're going to do.
It is a piece of art.
Price tag of, what was that we paid for one of those pouring bears? 30 million.
Something like that.
Yeah, we'll put it in the Tate Gallery.
That's
30
a decent
million
commission.
by David Wade, right?
I'll hold you to that, Mel.
You know what, I'd love to do that and see all these people going to art galleries going, so he must have been in this kind of mindset when he did that.
Yeah, I would say it's a rather a journey.
Somebody that's quite disturbed, I feel.
Yeah.
Right.
We're looking back on it 100 years later. Oh, what did this person go through? So let's mix some glitters in, shall we? I'm going to use some of our beautiful Christmas red.
Don't forget, we've got these back in stock for you now. There will be a slight delay on being sent out, but we will, well, you know what we're like. We'll get that out to you as soon as we physically can, but we didn't want you to miss out. No. This is a great thing to do, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, David.
So now, because if you mix your glitter in with resin cast, it will mix into the resin, whereas now we're glazing it and glittering it at the same time.
The back in stock baubles, gone.
Oh, what?
I know, right, David? So you've got to be quick, fastest fingers first and all that malarkey, right?
I know, right? This is the truth. It's very true.
This is the truth.
It's just, well, we'll still...
You've no words, have we?
We'll still demo them, but...
Of course we will. We can do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can.
So what I'm doing now is I'm going around and I'm painting the aquastone on in this colour. And then whilst the aquastone is still open, I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit more of a different colour. I'm not going to paint the inside of it, I'm just doing the exterior.
Okay.
And there's no particular reason for that in terms of effectiveness of, you know, how it's going to work. I just quite like the matte interior that we've got there. So I'm just going to scoop that little bit of overspill out. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to let's grab some of the Christmas green, okay? And I'm going to take a dry lolly stick like this and gently just tap it. And it's going to stick to the surface now of that one. And it means I can control how much I'm using as well. There we go. All around here.
How fabulous is that? You could do this with your micas, right?
Oh, absolutely. You could do it with micas. But I think with the glitter, you have to give it a go. And that glitter is just at a crazy price for 19. Is it 18? Sorry, 18 different colours.
18 glitters.
Honestly.
Amber, on that, is that the picture for the glitters? Yeah, that one. That one.
Yes.
That's it.
And I'm going to use another colour as well. Let's put some more on. Let's use some
18.
silver. Honestly.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
It's honestly crazy.
I like the little containers after as well.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Look at this.
So I'm just sprinkling all of this glitter
hot fix
on.
rhinestones.
Yeah, absolutely. Around the top of that there.
Diamond art.
And then let's just put some on.
Look how beautiful that is, isn't it?
And then you've got a beautifully glittered, glazed and aquastone surface.
What a fantastic teacher gift.
Oh, 100%.
Right? You imagine, your child goes, instead of buying, something like bottles of wine or a box of chocolates or whatever, that, as a gift, would be lovely,
And the thing is, I could sit here and gild them and do gilded and then put wax in and knock it back, make it an antique colour. But I've shown you how to do that.
Yeah.
You've seen how to do that one, especially on the moulds last week. Try something new, try something different, and it's Christmas. It's honestly, showcase every colour in your collection.
Without a doubt, 25% of that glitter is now allocated and in people's baskets.
I can see why. Honestly, it's amazing
Right.
stuff. Right.
I'm going to just do these moulds while you're getting ready for another demo.
Yeah, sure. I'll get set up.
I fell in love with these yesterday. So we've done these as candles. I love them. I just think they're super, super, super cute. You imagine if you decorate your fireplace and you've got all your foliage and your flowers, and then you could have your snowflake with the tea lights to give the lights, and then these painted. I mean, these are gorgeous. Whether you're using them with wax, or I think if you've got people come around to stay with you at Christmas, soap.
Oh, yeah.
How cool would that be, right? Love the idea of that. So if you want the snowman and the stocking, these are super cute. Look at these. Just turn them all the way around, look. You can paint them or not. I actually quite like them just as they are. I think they're really, really pretty. But obviously the candle paints from Cadence, you can paint them and still burn them, which is brilliant. So that, oh, she's in again. Look at this, Amber sneaking in.
She's stealing things.
Right, if you want that one, shop stocking we've got left. And if you want these two, I think these are my favourites actually. I love that bell that's made to look like a Christmas pudding at the top, and I love that bauble. Look at the detail. They've even managed to get Merry Christmas in joined up writing in a brush letter font out of a mould. I mean, that's just amazing. Shop Bell will get you those two for $24.99, which is just stunning. I'm just going to do a quick recap on these glitters for you because you're getting all 18. It's buy one, get one free. So you pay $9.99 for all of that glitter. You've just seen David use that. 40% now is allocated. And David's about to use the epoxy resin, which is this one. So he's at the moment just mixing together. So you're going to get both A and B. You're then also going to get your measuring cups. You're going to get your little kit that gives you the gloves. It's important that you use gloves when using epoxy resin, and the little stirring sticks. You're going to get 8 of the different colours, so you can colour them. You also get a little instruction leaflet as well. You get 3 pots of your gilding flakes. Once you open those, you're going to need a bigger pot to put them in because they will go a long, long way. And then last but by no means least, pipettes. These, game changer when you're doing moulds because you can be absolutely accurate. So if you want that, shop large, $44.99. If you want a smaller epoxy resin, 2 parts again, so you're getting both with the little measuring cups on the top. You're then also going to get your jewellery mould, so these where you can make your earrings because they've got the little hole in the mould themselves, and then these are lovely for little icons. Nice one for teenage cards, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, that little bit something different. Then you're also going to get all your little silver elements that you can decorate with. These are great, aren't they? And the storage. Brilliant, right? Then these I love. Look at these little slices of clay. You've got your little pearls in there. You've got some extra little flowers that you can drop in, some hearts, and then some little gold elements in there as well. Plus, you're going to get 6 of your colours with this one. And brilliant, brilliant product. Look at these little pouring cups with a little spout. So the handle's there and you can literally be really precise with those. Fabulous. And then you're also going to get a kit of pipettes, a little pair of tweezers, some wooden sticks, extra gloves and some little keyring charms. All of that, shop resin, $34.99. That is a deal and a half. Now I have to come back to this mould because this is my favourite. It's a really solid mould. It's sturdy, it's durable, really easy to demould, whether you're using it for food or whether you're using it for your clays, your resins, etc. If you're doing that, please buy 2 because you need, for health and safety, you need a separate one for food. But how fantastic is that? And look at this. This is absolutely something I would have in my home. I think it's beautiful.
Me too. I mean, think of all the colours you could do.
Beautiful. Isn't that just stunning? Airbrush, David.
I know. Have they been airbrushed?
I'm not sure. I think it's probably Stephanie blending it, I would say, looking at it, because there's some brush marks. But that with your airbrush,
it would be amazing. Could you imagine?
Yes, I can. Absolutely. So if you've got your airbrush, and this is another thing that you can add in. We have a question.
Question about the airbrush. If I airbrush the baubles, would you need to gesso them first?
If you're airbrushing them onto resin cast, no, absolutely, you don't need to gesso them first. Sorry.
I know words right. They just disappear, don't they?
Yeah, gesso.
It's like this little elf comes along and just goes.
Yeah, you're not having that word. That's what they do.
We're not doing that.
So with the resin cast baubles, no, you don't need to gesso them first because resin cast is a porous surface, so it will absorb the airbrush medium. But I wouldn't suggest airbrushing your epoxy ones because you were going to gesso them, so you would just use resin cast.
Yeah,
I would use that instead. So I wouldn't use something to then basically make it look like the other one.
No,
yeah, because the beauty of it is the exterior. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right, David, where are we up to, please,
Okay, so what I've done is I've mixed 35 grams of part A and part B together in the cup. Now, as you're mixing this, do a gentle mix. You want to do it for about 3 to 5 minutes, and it's a gentle fold like this. You don't want to do fast, vigorous stirring because you're going to aerate the resin. So you want to minimise and reduce the potential of bubbles as much as possible. After you've done a full stir mix for about 5 minutes, leave it to stand for a minute or so, and any bubbles will come to the surface.
Right.
And that will just avoid that happening. Also through curing as well, they do rise.
Top tip.
So what I'm going to do is we'll select, well, let's go for this one, all right?
Oh, yeah, it's my favourite.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
I love it.
I'm going to pour a small quantity of the mixed resin into a cup here.
You can see all the bubbles, can't you?
Absolutely. And they will start to, of course, come out of there. And then we're going to use one of our pigment dyes that comes with the resin kit. Probably just two little drops for that amount, and that is all it will need. I'm then going to use a separate stirrer.
That's intense, isn't it?
It really is.
Love that colour.
I've just got that, sorry, I'm moving that, there we go. I'm just going to mix that together inside here, and you can see how that's mixed beautifully to make us a wonderful, clear Christmas red. Now that pigment's mixed, we use our pipettes.
Okay.
So squeeze all the air out and draw up your resin, okay? If you hear the little, you know you've sucked air up, okay? It's like when you've reached the bottom of your drink with your straw. So you just want to fetch all of that up there. You'll notice as well, I find that as soon as you start to add your colour, all the bubbles just disappear. It's a bit like magic.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, right? So then what we're going to do is, sorry, bear with me, I'm going to pick up a little bit more. I'm just going to squeeze it up just there, creating a little bubble, just waiting for that to expand. If you press on the other way of the actual pipette, it will start to just slowly draw that up.
Yeah,
there we go.
Look at that.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is really slowly going to start to then fill our mould. See that there? How it will just go into
Look how
the
accurate
fine
that
channels.
is.
Okay, and this is where you can start to fill all of this. Okay, so going in, doing each individual.
Oh, I'd love that.
Bead. Look.
You're going to love this at home. This is brilliant. We need a double hour. We've only got 3 minutes left, David.
What?
I know, right? We've had sell out after sell out after sell out because we got back in stock, gone, back in stock, gone. It's been a busy show, but thank you for joining us. This is just amazing. And look at the accuracy you've got with the pipette. That's what you need, isn't it?
It is. I'm using a finger to actually stabilise the pipette, and I'm using my 2 fingers from my left hand to apply a small amount of pressure. And with me, I have a shake in my hands. I always have. Whenever I concentrate, I did that for some reason. But using that second hand prevents, because you're applying a small amount of pressure.
Yep.
So using your muscles at the same time. But this is how you can get complete accuracy. So let this dry.
Right. I was going to say, do I need to let that dry before I put another colour in?
Yes.
Another layer?
You could pour directly on top, but it will start to shift it.
Yeah,
yes.
we don't want that.
So I would leave it for around about 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And then put your next coat on top. I think Jane may have left it for less than that actually when she did hers. But that's probably what I would go with. And then you can infill all of the lines then with a separate colour, and then do a flood coat on top, and that's what will then give you.
Look at that.
This. Look at that.
How amazing is that?
Now, if you also use something ultra fine like a pin.
I always makes me laugh this because he goes behind his neck to get a pin. Oh, your t-shirt, yeah. You put a safety pin in your t-shirt, don't you? So the neck's higher.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. And then you go, if you got a pin, and he just takes it off his t-shirt.
Use a pin.
I love that.
To guide it then down the channels. It'll naturally start to go there anyway, but if you just guide it with the pin, it will mean there's no air bubbles in there. And look at that. Is now giving you what is that ultra fine hairline, and you can gently start to then move it, and this is where you get really fine, finesse, professional finishes with not only your moulds but your colours, your dyes.
I love that.
And you're creating something bespoke and natural, free, make and sells, heart's content.
Absolutely.
Decorate your home for Christmas, decorate your friends and family's homes for Christmas. Once that's dry, you can flood coat it then with a clear resin, or of course mix another colour, and it's colour on colour.
Fantastic, isn't it? Isn't it? This whole show is just amazing. I love it. And it's really nice to bring you something a little bit different with the resin, bringing you that epoxy resin. But the resin cast is on a cracking deal. So you're paying $29.99 for that one. You're paying a £5 for that.
£5.
Maybe you go more contemporary at Christmas and you like black.
Yeah.
This is going to be amazing with those finger waxes, or dry brushed with the metallics, or the diamond paint.
Oh my
David
goodness,
on
the
these.
diamond paint. This is the thing, we could do a show all day with this,
Yeah,
because there's no cadence mediums that you can't use with this. Like, you could fill the moulds with candle wax and make wax melts. You could do soaps with them.
All of that.
Candle paint them.
Fantastic,
It just doesn't end.
Right, I don't know who's coming up next. I'm suspecting.
Soap making, I think, with Amanda.
Soap making with Amanda and Lily.
Yes.
Through that wall. Don't miss out on that. They've got some beautiful products on there. And we'll see you back at 11.
11 o'clock with some outlet.
With outlet. Bye.